over to my house and caught you in my bed. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Taleajj, and I am back again with another video. And if you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified every time that your girl posts a video. So today, I know you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we're gonna be doing a little story time. I did a little, I don't know if it's called, I did a little question thing on Instagram where I asked people what I should talk about, and I gave two topics. The first topic was I was in an entanglement, and the second topic was he left me stranded. So everybody voted for the entanglement story time. So that's what we're gonna get into today. Let me go ahead and put my little drink, cause babe, y'all gonna have to excuse me because I already done been drinking a little bit, so I am a little tipsy. So yeah. That's, I don't know, that's a lot. I'm trying to finish off this tequila I had over the weekend. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this video, y'all. So the entanglement that I was in was basically, I don't even know how to start this off, y'all. It's so much, like, and okay, well, I want to start off by saying this whole situation happened when I was in college, just getting out of high school, going into college. So this is not recent. This stuff is old. Me and this person don't even talk no more, so I feel like it's okay for me to talk about it. All right, so long story short, I don't even know how to start it off, y'all. Oh my God. Like I told y'all, at the time I was in college. So I was in a full-blown relationship with a guy, on and off. I would always catch him cheating and stuff like that. So we would break up, get back together, break up, get back together, type of thing. But the last time that we broke up, me and this guy, what can I name him? I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna name him, I don't know, so I guess I'll say Dame. Me and Dame was in a relationship for 3 years. We was together off and on, and we was just on and off because I would always catch him cheating, doing stuff he didn't have no business, you know, the things that guys do. Well, some guys. So eventually I got tired of him cheating, so I decided to get my lick back, which was not right. Like I told y'all, I was young and dumb at the time. I shouldn't have did that, but you know, I was having fun. I was fresh out of high school, going into college, you know. So I eventually started to mess with somebody else. And the somebody else, I'm going to name him John. I'm going to name him John. So I started to mess around with John. And me and John, we talked in the past, like when I was in like middle school, in the beginning of high school. But it never was anything serious. Me and John was never serious. But we started to mess around. And the crazy thing was John had a girlfriend. So I had a boyfriend, John had a girlfriend. We continued to just mess around with each other, knowing that both of us was in a relationship. Like I said, both of us was young, we was dumb, we was just doing stuff. But the crazy part is we just could not leave each other alone. So, on my end, I eventually got caught. So, I'm going to tell y'all how I got caught. So, one night, John came over to the house and he stayed the night. And the next morning, I don't even know how I managed to let this happen, but John came over and stayed the night. Oh God, hold on, y'all. Y'all, I'm sorry if the story is all over the place. It happened so long ago, I'm trying to remember everything. But how I got caught was John came over the night before and stayed the night, because he will always come at night. He would leave in the morning, or he would come during the day, leave at night. But anyway, he came over. We was watching TV. We had intercourse multiple times as usual, and I'm thinking everything is all good. Child, I guess it was just meant for me to get caught. So the next morning, all I hear at the door is boom, 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 boom. Open up the door. I know you in there with some nigga. So I'm like, I'm looking at John. John looking at me like, your nigga at the door, what you gonna do? So I'm sitting there stuck on stupid. I'm like, how does this man know that John is over here? Like, how do he know that? Child, my dumb ass had the blinds flipped the wrong way. So he was able to look into the room, straight through the room, and see us laying in the bed together. Because my dumb ass had the blinds flipped the wrong way. So he's acting hysterical. He's banging on the doors. He's acting crazy. And at the time, I have roommates. I'm in an apartment. I have like 2 other roommates. So I'm telling them, look, y'all don't answer the door. This crazy nigga is outside. He know I'm in here with somebody else. Don't answer the door. So once he finally left and everything cooled down, me and Dame eventually had a conversation about John being over to the house, and that was just a deal breaker for him. It's just mighty crazy how niggas can cheat constantly, but as soon as you step out and you do some shit, it's just like they can't take it. So he couldn't take it, so me and Dame, we broke up. We just broke up. 3 years wasted down the drain. Like I said, I was young and dumb anyway, but we broke up, called it off. Meanwhile, John is still in a relationship. He's in a whole nother relationship. Like I told y'all, which was wrong on both of our ends. If I would have been the person that I am now, I definitely wouldn't have did that, because I know how it feels for somebody to step out on you and cheat and, you know, do you wrong. I wouldn't have done that. John is still in a relationship, and now I'm a single woman, so I can do whatever I want to do. So it's just like, since I was single and he wasn't, it just kind of made things difficult. Now, there were plenty of times where he would come to me and say, you know, hold on. Ooh. There was plenty of times that he would come to me and say, you know, this isn't right. I don't want to do this no more. I think we should just stop whatever it is we're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I was cool with it. Every time I was cool with it, because at the end of the day, you know, if you in a relationship, if that's how you feel, you know, do you. And every time he would tell me that, we would start back messing around again. Eventually, we would start back messing around. And this lasted for about 2-3 years. I'm not even gonna cap. This lasted for about 2 to 3 years. This whole entanglement with me, him, and the girl that he was with. Continued to mess around. Like, it had gotten so bad with me and him to the point where if we were at functions together, like, let's say we would go to a house party together or something, we would wind up leaving the party to go have sex and be with each other. That's just how bad it was. Like, I never really knew what soul ties was until that whole situation. That's what it was. Because I didn't have any type of, how could I say it? Like, I wasn't in love with him. No, I was not. I was not in love with him. Even though we were telling each other that, I was not in love with him. The only thing that I was attracted to, like attracted to, was the fact that we were having sex all the time, anywhere, everywhere. It was just like constantly having sex, constantly having sex. And I think that's what it was on his end too. So those soul ties that people talk about, that shit is real. Like, we just could not leave each other alone no matter how much we tried. Like I told y'all, we could be in the same vicinity, in the same area, and we would eventually sneak off or meet up later on just to be around and up on each other and have sex. And that was the only thing that we were mainly doing. Like, we didn't go on dates. We didn't go, you know, we didn't go out to eat. I mean, we did chill and watch movies and stuff like that, but we were mainly just in the house having sex. Like, that was the main thing. And that will make you crazy about a person. Like, I was literally head over heels for this dude. I was not even in love with him. That's crazy. It's crazy that I was not even in love with him, but I was head over heels for him. Like, if that makes any sense. If this has happened to anybody, comment down below. Because it's crazy how I was not in love with this man, but I just could not leave him alone. Like, I could not leave him alone. And like I said, our relationship went on until I started talking to my ex, the guy that I just broke up with. So when me and him got together, that's when I cut everything off with John. But me and John was like this. Me and John was like this, like this. Like, we just could not leave each other alone. The shit was crazy on both ends. Like, people started talking. People started to find out that me and him was messing around with each other. It had got to the point where we wasn't even trying to hide it. He was trying to hide it, I guess. I guess that's what he was doing. But it was just crazy. It was so bad. Like I told y'all, I could remember one specific night. He had like, he threw like a kickback or something like that. And it was an ass of people out there. A whole bunch of people out there. Y'all tell me why we found a way to leave the crowd, leave everybody, leave the music, leave the drinks, everything. And we left to go have sex. So everybody looking for us. My homegirl steady, well, not my homegirl, she don't like when I say that. My best friend steady calling my phone, asking me, where you at, where you at, where you at? Child, I'm in the back room the whole entire time for hours having sex. For hours. Like, it was crazy. Because I knew what I was doing was wrong. And I just broke up with Dane for doing the same exact thing that I was doing. Like, the shit did not make any sense to me, y'all. But like I told y'all, those soul ties are real. So when you messing with somebody, be careful of who you messing with. Make sure they don't have no other bullshit going on, because once them soul ties kick in, it's over with. Like, it's literally over with. But anyway, let's keep going with the story. So eventually his girlfriend, she did find out. She wound up inboxing me on Twitter, asking me, you know, hey, do you and John mess around, or do y'all talk, or whatever the case may be? So me, being a little girl at the time, I was just like, you know, every typical female's answer. I was like, you know, ask him. That's what I said, ask him. So she was like, well, I asked him and he denied it. So I was like, okay, well, that's what it is then. That's what it is. So then I called him and I'm like, you know, your girlfriend just hit me up and asked me if me and you deal with each other and if we talk. And I told her to ask you. And he was like, man, ignore her. People been talking, so she kind of found out. She kind of done found out that me and you messed around and that we involved or whatever. Just ignore her. Whatever the case may be. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, at the time, like I said, I'm still single. I can't leave this man alone, even though I done tried several times. I can't leave him alone. He can't leave me alone. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I was like, you need to handle this, because I'm not about to be dealing with this drama. I'm not about to do it. So he was like, you know what? Ignore her. Don't worry about it. So a couple weeks later, he come to me again. I don't want to do this no more. This is wrong. I'm in a whole relationship. I got a whole girlfriend. I love you, but I can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. Steady telling me he can't do it. So on my end, I'm just like, all right, cool. And couple weeks later, we back talking again. And it was just a pattern over and over and over and over and over again. And I just could not figure out what it was. I'm just like, why am I so attracted to this dude? And the only thing that I could think of was sex. We were having a whole lot of sex. And at the time I was young, so I really wasn't experienced like that. And he showed me things that I've never done. He showed me how to do things that I've never done before as far as sex. He made my body feel a way that nobody has ever made me feel. So I'm just like, I'm attracted to this dude. I'm crazy about this dude. And I'm thinking that I'm really in love with him when I'm really not. And we had a connection and a bond based and built off of sex, and I could not leave him alone. And I don't know, I feel like the feeling was mutual because he couldn't leave me alone either. I mean, he had plenty of chances to leave, but he didn't. I finally stopped the whole situation whenever I moved on and met somebody else. We was doing that shit for a long time, like a long time. And I didn't realize how much time had passed, because you know time go by so quick. So I didn't realize that me and him was doing that shit for that long. But it was crazy, y'all. Like, crazy. I could not believe I got caught up like that. Like, bitch, how the fuck you leave the blinds backwards? But I needed to leave him alone anyway. I needed to leave Dame alone anyway, because he was doing a whole lot of cheating. And that's crazy because, like I said, I was getting on him for cheating when I'm sitting over here messing around with a whole nother dude who's in a relationship. That's what I mean about childish, being childish, being young, being dumb. And I guess I did suffer my karma and suffer the consequences, because once I got into another relationship, same thing happened. So I got my karma back from that. And I promise you, I would never do that shit again. I'm grown now. I would never talk to somebody who's dealing with somebody else. Even if I think you're dealing with somebody else, or I think you got a girlfriend, I'm not dealing with that shit. I would never do that shit again. Shit was crazy. Crazy. And I mean, it's a lot more to that story. Like, it's a lot more to that story. But I don't want to keep y'all here. What time we at? Let me see. We already at 20 minutes? 20 minutes, I guess. We already at 20 minutes. I guess I can continue to talk. But another thing is that we live in a small town. So once one person see you doing some shit, that shit gonna get around so fucking fast. And that's how it did. Like, it spread so quick. Like, everybody knew that me and this dude was messing around. There would be times where he would come over late at night with food. And that's the way to get me. Bring some food over and it's over with. That's definitely my love language is food. He would bring food over there. We would eat, have sex, watch TV, repeat that shit over and over and over again. I'm glad we was using protection, because your girl probably would have been pregnant. We was definitely using protection on. But he hit me up. He hit me up on Facebook. That's how we started talking. He hit me up on Facebook. And at the time, I'm telling him, you know, I'm still in a relationship. You in a relationship. No, I take that back, y'all. At the time when me and him first started talking, me and Dame had broke up, but we did get back together. So when me and him first started talking, me and Dame had broke up, and then we eventually did get back together. But yeah, I got caught, and that was that. I guess he knew something was up, because I had got to the point where I didn't care what he was doing. If people would come back tell me all the time, oh, I saw Dame with this girl such and such, blah blah. Child, I didn't even care, because I was doing my own shit, so I didn't even care. And I guess he caught on to that, and he was like, I know this bitch doing something. Pop up at my house one day, my dumb ass got the blinds backwards, then got fucking caught. And John had the nerve to be upset, like, you need to control your nigga. Boy, you got a whole girl at home. Are you serious? Are you serious? He was like, you need to control your nigga. Like, John got so mad to the point where he got up and left. Like, he got up and left, and I hadn't talked to him in days. He hadn't talked to me for days after the whole situation. So you're really mad because my nigga came over to my house and caught you in my bed. How you mad? I'm glad I did not let him in, because God knows what the hell would have went on if he would have got in that house. So how you mad at me, sir? You got a girlfriend at home. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense at the same time. That's what I'm telling y'all about these soul ties. Them shits is real. Them shits are real. I've witnessed it. And I would never do that shit again. Like, sticking your stuff into somebody lets off a whole nother type of energy and a whole nother type of vibe. And I don't got time. Like, I was looking so deep into that shit to the point where it made me want to be celibate until I meet my husband. Like, seriously. Because the research that I've been doing on soul ties and shit like that is crazy. I mean, crazy. Like, whew, it's just a lot. It's a lot. But I'm glad I cut that situation off, and I'm more mature now. we over that now. We grown, we adults. And like I said, I would never do that shit again. Like I said, if I even think you got a girlfriend, your ass is cut. Because that whole situation was a mess. And there was times that I would think about that all the time. And I was like, you know, I need to cut it off. I need to cut it off. But my body was not letting me cut it off. It was just like, you want him, you want him, you want him, you need him, you need him. That's how it became. And I'm just like, and I thought that it was just me, because I thought it was because that was the only person I was messing with. But even after I moved on, or called myself trying to move on, I doubled back and started back messing with him again. And I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? Like, I was just like feeding hard for this man. Like, the shit was crazy. But I'm glad I did cut that mess off. I'm glad I did. Y'all, I'm about tipsy, so I'm definitely gonna have to, because I was drinking before I did this video. That's the problem. I was drinking before I did this video. But if you guys would like to hear more story times from me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions about this story time, if you want me to answer some questions, leave it down below. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.